Hello, English learners, and welcome. I'm your host, Paul. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Excited to chat about English learning today.
You know that feeling? Right before you speak English, and suddenly your brain just freezes, tries to check every single grammar rule?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That little pause, that hesitation.
Yeah.
It's super common for learners. It's like this internal debate starts up. Is this right? Should I say this?
Exactly. And that is exactly what we are diving into today. We want to figure out, how to quiet down that inner critic and just start speaking English confidently, focusing on getting your point across,
Yeah.
not linguistic perfection.
Yeah, and we're looking at material that's specifically aimed at helping English learners get past that exact stumbling block,
Yeah.
that tendency to overthink things.
Right. So our mission here is to pull out the best, most practical tips, the actionable stuff, and those key mindset shifts that can help you, our listeners, speak more naturally, more fluently.
With way more confidence.
Okay, so let's really dig in. What are the main reasons we get stuck in our heads like that?
Well, I think a huge one, and maybe the biggest, is just fear. The fear of making mistakes. Learners worry so much about saying something wrong, maybe being laughed at or just feeling silly.
That really puts the brakes on, doesn't it?
It really does. It can stop you from even trying.
It's funny, though, because the material points out, and it's so true native speakers, we mess up all the time.
Constantly.
We use weird grammar, sentences trail off, but we just kind of keep going. We don't let those little slip-ups stop the conversation.
That's a really key difference. Learners often feel this intense pressure, like they have to be absolutely perfect.
Which leads to pausing, second-guessing.
Or just staying silent altogether. And the sources really hammer this home. Fluency comes from using the language, not waiting until it's perfect.
Okay, what else? There's the translation thing too, right?
Oh, definitely. The translation bottleneck, trying to build the sentence in your own language first, then translate it word for word.
Yeah, that's like mental gymnastics while trying to chat.
It is, and it slows you right down. By the time you've figured it out, the conversation's moved on.
Which just makes you feel even more hesitant next time.
Exactly. It's frustrating.
And then there's just general confidence or lack of it, feeling weird about your accent maybe, or thinking your vocabulary isn't big enough.
And that can become a vicious cycle. You feel unconfident, so you stay quiet.
Which makes you feel less confident because you're not practicing.
Precisely. But what's really interesting and a core idea here is that perfect English isn't the goal for fluency. It's about communication.
Right. It's more about getting your ideas across effectively.
Yes. And having the confidence to try. Think of fluency as being able to communicate, not as being flawless.
Okay, so we see the problems.
Yeah.
Now let's talk solutions. Why is speaking without all that overthinking so important for actually getting fluent?
Well, the basic idea is that fluency grows from practice.
Yeah.
From actually doing it, not from thinking about doing it perfectly.
Makes sense.
The more you speak, the better your brain gets at just putting English sentences together naturally, faster connection.
Right. If you're always stopping to check rules or find the perfect word,
You're actually slowing down that natural learning process. You're getting in your own way.
it's like learning to ride a bike, maybe. You don't read the physics textbook first.
Exactly. You get on, you wobble, you might fall off a few times.
You make mistakes.
You make mistakes, but you learn by doing it. Think about how babies learn language.
Yeah, no grammar lessons there.
No, they listen, they copy, they babble, they make tons of errors, but they just keep trying and eventually it clicks. Naturally.
And I love this idea from the material.
Yeah.
Speak first, fix later.
That's such a freeing concept, isn't it?
It really is. Just
Yeah.
get the message out. Even if it's not perfect, you'll sound more natural than someone pausing every 2 seconds trying to be flawless.
And honestly, most native speakers just want to understand you. They're usually fine with small mistakes, especially if you're clearly making an effort. They care about the communication.
Okay, this is really interesting. The material says that when you speak more freely, it actually builds your confidence.
It does.
And get this, that confidence itself makes people listen more, sometimes even more than perfect grammar does.
That's absolutely true. Confidence connects you to the listener. It shows you believe in what you're saying.
So even if your grammar isn't 100%,
If you speak with conviction, people pay attention. More than someone who's technically perfect but sounds hesitant and unsure.
okay, so less thinking, more talking. That's the fuel for fluency. Let's get practical then. What are some concrete things our listeners can actually do to break that overthinking habit?
All right, number one, and it's a big one, practice thinking directly in English.
Bypass the translation step.
Exactly. If you're always building sentences in your native language first, you're adding this whole extra layer that just slows you down.
So how do you practice that?
Yeah.
The material had a good idea.
Yeah, narrate your day. As you're doing things, describe them in English, just in your head or quietly.
Like, okay, I'm getting the milk out of the fridge now. I need to find my keys.
Precisely. It feels weird at first, maybe, but it builds that direct thought to English connection.
Good one. What else?
Okay, next. Deliberately let go of the need for perfect grammar while you're speaking.
Ooh, that's hard for some people.
I know, grammar is important overall, of course, but in the moment of conversation, communication comes first.
And the idea is your brain will sort of absorb the right grammar over time with practice.
Yeah, it starts to feel more intuitive. You get a feel for what sounds right through actually using it.
Okay, what if someone feels like they don't have anyone to practice with?
Great question. The sources suggest practicing alone. Talk to yourself.
In the mirror.
Sure. Or just describe your room. Talk about your plans for the day out loud. Low pressure, just getting used to making the sounds.
I like that. Very accessible. And then there's shadowing. Can you explain that one?
Shadowing is brilliant. You listen to a bit of native English, like a short clip, podcast bit, movie line,
Okay.
and you repeat it immediately, right after you hear it. Try to copy everything, the sounds, the rhythm, the intonation.
So you're not thinking about grammar, just mimicking the sounds.
Exactly. It helps you internalize the natural flow of English, almost like muscle memory for your mouth. It bypasses the overanalysis.
That sounds really effective for getting the rhythm right.
It is. Another really practical tip: keep your sentences simple.
Don't try to be too fancy.
Right. Especially when you feel stuck. Trying to build super complex sentences often leads to hesitation. Short, clear sentences keep the conversation moving.
Clarity over complexity. Good advice.
And this is fundamental. Embrace mistakes. Reframe them.
How so?
See them not as failures, but as proof you're learning. The material basically says the biggest mistake is not speaking because you're afraid of making one.
That's a powerful shift.
And
Every mistake is data.
Right.
Shows you what to work on.
Exactly. It's part of the process. And alongside that, immerse yourself.
Surround yourself with English.
Yep. Listen to podcasts, watch movies, TV shows. Make English a part of your daily environment.
So you just absorb the sound and rhythm naturally.
The more you hear it, the more those patterns sink in unconsciously. It makes producing them yourself easier.
Okay, one more practical tip.
Set yourself a speaking challenge. Like, commit to speaking English for, say, 5 minutes every day. Non-stop.
Wow, nonstop, even if you get stuck.
Yeah. If you don't know a word, describe it. Talk around it. The goal is just to keep the flow going. It forces you to think on your feet.
Like a little speaking workout.
Yeah.
Builds endurance.
Exactly. Builds fluency and confidence through sheer practice.
Okay, I love these tips. And to make this really real for you, the listener, how about we try a mini version of that challenge right now?
Great idea. Let's give it a go. This is a good way to just feel what it's like to speak without overthinking.
Okay, listener, here's the deal. I'll give you a topic. You speak about it for about 30 seconds. Just keep talking. Don't worry about perfection. If you can't find a word, describe it. Ready?
And just to show you, I'll go first. Topic. Describe the weather where you are. Go.
Okay. Right now, it's actually quite nice out. The sun's out. Just a few clouds, like fluffy white ones. There's a nice little breeze, so it's not too hot or sticky. Pretty pleasant, yeah. Feel like a good spring day. Birds are singing, too.
Nice. See? Kept it flowing. Okay, my turn. Topic. Describe your favorite hobby. Go.
Okay, favorite hobby. Probably hiking. I just love being outdoors, in the mountains or the woods. It's great exercise, clears my head. Plus, you get amazing views sometimes. Yeah, just being in nature, breathing fresh air. That's definitely it.
Excellent. See, not about perfect speeches, just talking. Okay, listener, your turn. Pick one of these topics, take about 30 seconds, and just go for it. Topic 1, describe your favorite food. Topic 2, talk about your daily routine. Topic 3, describe a place you want to visit. Pick one and start speaking. Now.
Okay, how did that feel? Maybe a bit challenging, maybe easier than you thought. But remember, every single time you do that, you're building that speaking muscle. It gets easier.
It really does. And that brings us nicely to mindset, because the techniques are great, but what you believe about speaking English is just as important.
So true. Like, the material really stresses this. Confidence isn't something you just wait for.
No, you build it.
You build it by doing the thing you're scared of. People think, I'll speak when I'm confident, but it's usually the other way around, isn't it?
Exactly. You start speaking, maybe imperfectly, you realize you can communicate, and that's where the confidence starts to grow.
So the message is, don't wait. Start now.
Yeah.
Even small steps.
Yes. Jump in. Another big mindset shift. Let go of perfectionism.
We keep coming back to that, don't we?
Because it's huge. Native speakers aren't perfect. The goal isn't flawless grammar, it's communication. Being understood.
So change that internal goal from must be perfect to what?
To, I want to connect and be understood. It takes so much pressure off.
And view mistakes differently too, not as failures.
But as evidence of learning. Proof you're pushing yourself. If you never make mistakes, you might be playing it too safe, staying in your comfort zone.
That's a great reframe. Mistakes mean you're trying, you're stretching.
And stop comparing yourself to others. That's a recipe for feeling bad.
Oh yeah, you see someone speaking so fluently and think, I'll never be that good.
Right, but everyone's journey is different. The only person you should compare yourself to is...
Your past self.
Exactly! Are you better today than last month, last week? That's progress. Focus on your growth.
Celebrate those small wins.
Definitely. And finally, embrace the discomfort a bit.
Meaning?
It feels awkward sometimes, speaking a new language. Especially at first. That's normal.
Like stage fright.
Kind of, but growth happens outside the comfort zone, right? So lean into that slightly uncomfortable feeling. Seek out chances to speak, even if they feel a bit scary.
Okay, so quick recap on mindset. Action builds confidence. Communication over perfection. Mistakes are learning. Compare only to yourself. Embrace discomfort.
Those are the keys. They work together with the practical tips.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the final word?
Just encouragement, really. Learning English is a journey. There will be ups and downs. But every single time you choose to speak, you are getting better, even when it doesn't feel like it.
Absolutely. Don't wait for that perfect moment of readiness. It might never come. The best time to start speaking more is literally right now. Every bit counts.
And please, try not to worry so much about being judged, honestly. Most people are impressed when someone's learning their language. They admire the effort.
Yeah, people are generally supportive.
So believe it. You are capable. You are smart enough.
Yeah.
You absolutely have what it takes. The only thing left.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Believe in yourself. Take action. Keep practicing. Fluency is achievable.
Can maybe keep doing that little spontaneous speaking challenge.
Definitely. It's such a simple, powerful way to keep building that confidence and flow. Just keep speaking.